interaction, Drew, it was basically a cold call, right? It's like, hey,
Hmm.
Leah, and I'm like, okay, you get recruiter calls all the time, but even our interaction was very seamless. We just kind of it was very light in conversation. We just kind of talked. I was like talking to, a family member or a friend. I left that conversation, and everything that Drew said that he was going to do, he did. So he followed up with me. He kept me in the loop. If he indicated, I'm going to send you this document, he sent me the document, would send me a text. I had to, put his name in my phone, which I rarely do with recruiters because, sometimes it's kind of one done, it's one off. But I had to put his number in my phone because we were just in contact that much. And he really cared about ensuring that, I felt comfortable with the process, where I was going next. And I think, that our styles just matched up perfectly.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So
Thank you so much. That was nice. You almost made me start crying there. Jeez. Obviously, her personality is great. You can tell that by the first 5 minutes of talking to her. So that always helps. But the way she'd explained her roles and the job she had been in, and I love when somebody says I have to wear multiple hats and I have to be doing this, that, and the next, because then that means somebody's quick on their feet. They know how to problem solve, and the way she was explaining everything was just like to a T, right? And I was like, I guess she's going to get hired. No doubt about it. Literally, I told her that on the phone, like the first call we had. I said, if I can get you an interview, you're going to get hired. So, it was just a cold call, had a nice conversation. She really went through her background and explained everything she wanted to do moving forward, in her career path. It just all came to fruition. I think everything's based on timing, and especially when you have somebody great like her, it really makes it easy.
So Chuck, who's president of the company, he is simply amazing. And after my interview, my last face-to-face interview, I think, Drew, I jumped in the car and I was like, "Oh yeah, this is great." I think you remember that conversation. I said, "I've never had an experience. I've talked to presidents before of companies, but he wanted to find out not about my resume, but truly if I was going to be a great fit for the company." And that's where our conversation, went, landed. I walked out of there with a huge smile on my face. Immediately called Drew and said, "Oh my goodness, I think this is gonna happen." And I think we were both surprised because we thought that it was going to take over the weekend
Yeah.
for an offer to come in. And before I could even get back to my destination, Drew called and said, "Ooh, guess what?" And I was over the moon.